What's up, everybody? I think Spyderco could and should sue that Chinese company that made this knife. This is a Spyderco Dragonfly, and this is the box it comes in, but it is not a real Spyderco, despite all the markings. Dragonfly2, salt, PLN, and that box is basically like the original. It really is. It's astounding to me. So this is the knife. It was in a plastic sleeve. I took that off. Have some foam in there. And this is it. You can instantly feel even if you have a bird knife. Where is it? Where's my bird knife? There. If you have a knife like that, you can instantly feel how the scales on a Spyderco would feel like, well, sturdiness wise, you know? You open it up, they're pretty squared and sturdy, have inset stainless steel liners, don't flex at all. The lock is very strong, very snappy. And then you have this. Yeah, you have this. Well, I don't know what to make of it. Spyderco Dragonfly H1 steel. Apparently, no, actually, it's not. Has the wire clip, and even on the scale it says Spyderco Dragonfly. And this configuration, you know, when the blade is downwards, when it's closed, you can see that the lock is not cut out as the plastic, and this is plastic, not FRN scale. You can see on this bird knife how it looks, how the David Boy dent, I think, is in there, cut in there. And this one not so much. It is of course a backlock, and I think it is made by the exact specs of a Spyderco Dragonfly2. I don't have one, but this is kind of scary that China gets so good at making those knives. It says Spyderco H1 down there, has the H1 here. It's probably just Sekai City, Japan. Seki City. It's probably just, you know, cheap Chinese steel, maybe 3CR, 13 MOB, maybe 8CR, 9CR, whatever. Something like that. You can see how the clip actually goes into the cutout of the backlock. It doesn't on this one, on this bird turn. It's a much longer clip. As I said, I don't have a Dragonfly to compare it to. All I can do is to, you know, Chinese produced Spyderco knives and how those look compared to each other. Size comparison to the bird turn, and this is like the bird metal lark or the Spyderco Delica, the size. You can see it right there. There's a slip joint, of course, and let me tell you, the lock, it doesn't feel super sturdy. I did do some spine wax. It didn't close on me, it didn't fail on me. But this is definitely not a hard use knife. Not that the original Spyderco Delica Dragonfly would be a hard use knife, but this one I just would be careful, you know. I have extra large sized glove hands, and it fits perfectly. It's perfect. The design is perfect, but it is a copy design. They actually, I paid $9.99 for this, shipped within 3 weeks to my door. The texturing feels really good, but the handle flexes a little bit under pressure. It doesn't have inset liners. I'm not really sure if the Spyderco Dragonfly, the real one, has some inset liners. I know that the no, not the Meadowlark, what is wrong with me today? The Delica and the Endura don't have inset liners. This one doesn't as well. So you can switch the pocket clip to the other side. It is tip up only. And let me tell you, it does come sharp, reasonably sharp. This is nasty paper. It is a sharp knife. And if you want to know what, yeah, you know, before you drop, I don't know how much the real Dragonfly costs, maybe $50, $60. Before you drop $60 on a knife that maybe is way too small for you and you won't carry it because of that, or because it doesn't fit your hand well, because you have, you know, you want to grip it differently, or you like tip down carry for some reason. I don't know. Well, the spine is actually rounded, I can see that now. Or chamfered at least. Kind of rounded. Has jimping a thumb ramp. I don't know what I was going with that. So if you want to get the feel of a knife that costs considerably more money, and you don't know if you will like it because you have no way to handle it before your purchase, you know, this is okay. This is okay to buy, and that's why I bought it. And also, I don't own Spyderco knives. The only reason, well, I actually sold my Spyderco Tenacious, but because I didn't carry it. The only reason why I don't own a Spyderco Endura, and this is one of the most perfect EDC / tactical knives ever. Reason why I don't own one is not because of the price per se. It's because one-handed opening is illegal to carry in my country. So like on this Sunren Moose 763, I can take off the thumb studs, but I can't fill that thumb hole, and that thumb hole is considered a one-handed opening mechanism. If I can disable the mechanism, it's legal to carry for me if it's a locking knife. I can carry that Spyderco, that Bird Turn, because it is a non-locking knife, so if it's one-handed then it's fine. So a little information about that. I don't really want to get into the discussion of, you know, how copying knives is really a shame. I opened the video with what I thought would be right to do for Spyderco. Spring is a little bit weak, stands off a little bit, but it's fine. You know, I know now this is a small knife, and I don't know if the real thumb hole is that size, because I think it's a little bit small. The tension on the spring is not really super hard. It has a washer on the outside of the screws. I don't know if the screws are hardened. I haven't tried that to take it apart or whatever. It's a two-part knife actually. It's two molded liners that fit together in the middle. It has one seam here. I don't think you can see that, but on this Bird Meadowlark or Hawkbill, there's actually a back spacer with the same width of the back lock, and then two scales. So this doesn't have that. Also, you have a little bit sticking out here. I don't know if you can see that. You know, it grabs here because the lock is sticking up a little bit. The lanyard hole is a little bit small, so it doesn't extend the back. There's no back spacer that extends to the bottom of the blade. It's just two pieces. This is not really a review of the Spyderco Dragonfly, because this is not a Spyderco Dragonfly. But by the ergos, I actually would buy this knife. If I could carry it legally, if I wouldn't get in trouble for this, you know, I can carry this legally because I took off the thumb studs. I can. It's even too big for the frame. I can legally carry this, but I can't legally carry this. So I'd rather have this than this and get in trouble for it. But from the ergos, I would actually buy the real Spyderco Dragonfly. It is much more comfortable than the bird turn, even though the bird turn is bigger. I don't know. I just don't like that it doesn't lock too much. And that's why I don't carry it that often, unfortunately. But this, for the size, it really maximizes the size. The handle and the choil with the jimping, thumb ramp with the jimping, nice jimping, flat ground, maybe hollow, but it's really hard to make out. Lean behind the edge, nice point. So for $10, I'm glad I got it. So I now know how it feels. If I hated it, then that would be okay too, because I only spent $10. So I thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Roll Tide.